Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Chris,
And Ralph.
and today what are we doing, Ralphie?
The Spider-Man No Way Home, the super fun stuff version.
The extended edition review.
Yeah.
We saw it 2 days ago. It came out. What's today? Saturday, so it came out on Thursday at our local theater. So this is the re-release of Spider-Man with like 11 minutes of extra footage, right?
Yeah.
That's what they said in the description. And so basically, it's deleted scenes that were, I guess, finished over the last few months since the movie came out.
Yeah.
They just added it to the movie, did some recut a little bit, and then put it back out there with extra footage, more of. If you're watching the spoilers, obviously,
Yeah.
of Tom, Toby, and Andrew. And Ralphie, you can go ahead and get into it because I know you love. I love No Way Home, but you love No Way Home, so go ahead and get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. No Way Home though, perhaps some of you, perhaps most of you are aware of whenever physical media was released,
Mhm.
the delete scene will disappear.
Yes. So I'm trying to get the brightness correct so it
Okay.
won't be so. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So yeah, the delete scene just disappeared from physical media.
So we have multiple copies of No Way Home on physical media, Blu-ray and UH and 4K and all that. And the way they advertised it was that it was going to have all the extra footage in it.
Yeah.
Regardless, we're getting it because that's just who we are. We're going to get it whether it had no extra footage or not. But you get it, and then it turns out there is no extra footage, so that kind of bummed us out. But I guess was the plan all along to add the footage for theaters, things like that. But going into it, Ralphie, this, like I had mentioned before we started recording, I believe No Way Home is your favorite movie of all time. Is that true?
Don't know. Like yes, the movie is basically like one of the best the Spider-Man film alongside with Spider-Man 2 and the Amazing Spider-Man.
Hmm.
And so yeah, No Way Home is pretty good like, even in the scenes, the extra
Is
scenes.
it your favorite MCU movie? I say so. The reason why I say that is because yes, you can answer yes or no. But the reason why I think that is because every time I see you watching a movie, it's No Way Home. You love No Way Home. You watch it almost every day. So let's just be honest. Is it your favorite MCU movie?
Let's see. Well, alongside with other the great MCU film, which is if you want what I was doing like phase one or phase two rank, let us know.
We'll do rankings for the MCU for sure.
Each phase.
Each phase. We'll do each phase and then we'll do everything all together. I've been wanting to do that video for the longest.
Yeah.
That's a long video. That's like an hour video, if I'm being honest with you. Okay. All right. So I guess I'll go ahead and get it started with the actual movie. Film starts off with the same footage. There wasn't anything added within the first, I want to say 6, 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. It's just J. Jonah Jameson talking. Spider Man's a menace. He killed Mysterio, and then Peter and MJ webbing, swinging through New York. So yeah, there wasn't really anything new added at the very beginning, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then of course there's the scene and doing Amen. Step good.
Give me a second. Alrighty. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so yeah, go ahead, Ruffy.
So yeah, the actual scene that we start off with is the question scene.
Yeah.
Prison and jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so whenever the Department of Damage Control, right, the DLC,
Yeah.
something like that. Yes, they you know in the movie when they basically take in Peter, MJ, and Ned, Zendaya, May. I'm sorry, take him in for questioning. That's like our first time seeing some extra footage. Basically, it's more dialogue between Mary Jane, not Mary Jane, between no, not MJ, Park, Aunt May. I'm sorry, I have literally every single person's name like stacked on top of each other, and I'm trying to say all their names at once. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so the first real extra footage we see is extra dialogue between Aunt May and one of the guys who works at the DLC, the one that's the main investigator for the case. Some more extra dialogue I had mentioned. Them going back and forth, talking about her criminal history, which is basically she just used to do protests and she used to get arrested. So that's what they talked about a bit. And yeah, but the actual like extra footage, the first time we see like minutes get cut from the movie, like okay, the next 4 minutes we have not seen at all, which was at the high school.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and get into that one.
So yeah, the high school scene in like showing him either like on PE or something,
Mm-hmm.
like the scene and when everyone's good at telling him to crawl on the PE walls.
Yeah, when they're cheering on Peter to crawl on the wall. Um, so whenever he goes to the high school, you know, you see his teachers, his gym teacher, like we know you did it, and his other teachers build a shrine for him. So there's a lot of footage of what Ralphie was saying of him in the gym. Everyone's cheering for him to climb the wall. He does it reluctantly, but he still does it. And then what I had told Ralphie when we got in the car after we left the theater, when I was driving home, they cut out a bunch of Betty Brant material.
Yeah.
Like they cut basically all her scenes out besides that one little piece on the original cut. Whenever she's like, "This is Betty Brant." Hi, yeah, you know, basically the reporter thing. But she has sit down interviews with Peter, the teachers, Ned, Flash. Oh my god, the Flash stuff was hilarious.
Yeah.
So the whole scene that got cut from the movie is basically Betty doing a piece on Peter being Spider-Man, and she's doing talking heads with everybody, and the ones with Flash were hilarious, right, Ralph?
Yeah.
Yo, what are some of your favorite parts from that scene?
Let's see, I don't know anything about it. It's pretty great.
Okay, I'll tell you the part that made me laugh out loud the loudest in this scene. So she's interviewing Flash, and she's like, "Flash, what are your thoughts on people saying that you're not actually friends with Peter Parker?" And then Flash is like, he starts crying. You know, that actually hurts my feelings. You know, and like he's just playing it. Oh my god, that was hilarious. Um, and then they ask Peter like, what did she say? What would you say to that spider if he was still alive? That spider that bit you. What would you say to that spider? Would you say thank you or thanks for nothing or something like that?
You're like, thanks. Everyone said for nothing.
For nothing. Yeah, Betty Brown was pretty hilarious in that scene. So that's extra footage. What else? Well, I guess we won't talk about the whole movie. Well, we're gonna talk about the whole movie, but we're not gonna go detail by detail because we already did a review. You can watch it on our channel when the movie came out last year.
Yeah.
What's some extra footage that was cut out like in chronological order?
Let's see.
Oh. So after Peter goes to goes with Doctor Strange to go do the spell, and then everything goes wrong, and then Peter's trying to make things right. So he gets, and then the highway fight scene between Doc Ock and Peter.
Yeah.
There's really no new footage. What I noticed, because I've seen this movie like literally like 10, 15 times before seeing it the other day. Probably like 15 times, I'll be honest with you. I noticed there's specific shots that are different. Like right here, this scene, whenever they're in the basement, there's shots that have different views. There's literally like bits of dialogue that was added, like literally like one line, like not even 5 seconds of dialogue that was added in the movie. That's little bits. But this scene right here, this is the next big piece that was cut.
Yeah.
So it's whenever MJ and Ned go with Peter to the croft. What did they say? The croft. I forget. Basically, the basement of where Doctor Strange and Wong live, and on Bleecker Street, 117 Bleecker Street. There's like a whole sequence of the monster mash. You do the mash, you do the monster mash.
Yeah.
And it's Ned and MJ. What are they doing in there?
Like try to get chairs and find a table for them, but they're not to see any of the recent articles either, like Green Goblin or something.
They're just screwing everything up in the basement.
Yeah. And then there's like a tiny
oh, okay. Yeah, talk about that. Yeah.
So there's like a tiny this what's it called again?
Sanctorum.
Sanctorum. And what you see in the middle is a reading Doctor Strange.
Yeah, so basically what Ralphie is getting at. So this scene right here is extended. There's like literally like 2 minutes cut from it. Of Ned and MJ, whenever they're trying to grab a chair They pick up a chair and the whole table falls. And they're just basically screwing up the whole basement. And there's a specific scene, specific part where Ned looks at this miniature model of the house of the mansion that they're in. There's a mini Doctor Strange in there, like a small Doctor Strange. Like you just see him and he's looking at them, and he walks away. And it's like, what the hell? Like there's a mini Doctor Strange in there. They cut that out. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anything else in that scene that we didn't notice?
Let's see. That.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. What's next? Oh,
Oh yeah.
What
Yeah. Tom Holland and the brother.
Oh yeah. Oh, talk about that, Ruffy.
So yeah. So when I first heard it was like 2 weeks before the film was released. I have heard that they cut out his brother scene.
Mm-hmm. His brother's supposed to be like a robber.
Yeah, a robber. Once Peter Parker stopped the robber, people were like, well, we almost got him. This and that. After some a bit argument, and but like officers or shop owner or people or some of his fixed by a pike,
Mm-hmm.
and someone walks up with green paint just
Throws it on him.
yeah.
You since you brought up that scene that people okay, so whenever it's Tom stopping his brother,
Yeah.
people are arguing with Spider-Man, and then the guy throws the green paint on him. What I noticed as well, there's actually little shots in the movie that were removed. So you know the shot of Peter coming out of the porta potty,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, Spider-Man, he's coming out of the porta potty. He has toilet paper on his foot. And he's removing it." That's gone from the movie. I don't remember seeing it. Did you see it?
Wait, oh no, that was from Homecoming.
That wasn't Homecoming. That was No
No.
Way Home.
No, the porta potty.
Oh my gosh, that is Homecoming.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. All right, ignore what I just said the last 30 seconds. Okay, continue.
So yeah, let's see. And this like a small scene that was being cut of No Way Home. Whenever this scene right there,
Hmm.
you're like, because the Sandman.
Oh yeah, so this scene is a little more. It's about like a couple of minutes longer. It's just basically Peter in the woods longer, just looking around. You see where Sandman jumped out right there. Yeah, there's some footage cut from this scene. What else? And that's pretty much it from this point. And then leading up throughout the film, whenever he goes and gathers all of them, takes them to Happy's apartment. Like I had said, the movie's been out for 7 months. We're just jumping around a bit.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh yeah, the elevator.
The elevator scene was cut from the movie. And it's like a quick 15-second scene
Yeah.
of Peter, MJ, Doc Ock, Electro, Goblin, and Sandman, right? Because Liz is stayed in the truck.
Yeah.
I just them going up the elevator, just nothing, just them. That was cut from the movie, from the original cut. That was added back in the extended cut.
And also, so that was like extra 10-second scene
Oh,
whenever Peter and Norman were trying to figure out how to fix Doctor Otto.
Doctor. Excuse me, you asked me.
Yeah.
Doctor Otto Octavius.
Yeah.
Doc Ock.
Yeah, Doc Ock.
Mhm.
That chip.
The chip in the back of his head.
Yeah, that was like an extra 10-second
Okay.
of them.
Because I had got up real quick to go to the restroom because I had to really go, and I've seen this movie 15 times. I figured, okay, I'll just get up real quick. I've seen this movie, but I did miss a little bit of extra footage. What Rafi mentioned, just of them working on the chip for Doc Ock. From there, we have the fight scene between Peter and the villains, and then between him and Goblin, between Norman going into Goblin. Seeing it in theaters again was, oh my gosh, that fight scene is incredible. It's one of my top fight scenes in any Spider-Man movie between him and Goblin. And seeing it in theaters is and then I'm jumping around, and then Aunt May's death. Oh my gosh.
And also, there's like extra dialogue when she told him, "Don't listen what Goblin said." At the,
That was added.
I think so.
I think so. No. She said that.
Yeah. Before Great Power.
Yeah. No, the stuff that she said in the extended cut, that it was in the original cut. They didn't cut anything right there.
Oh
Whenever she's talking to Peter before she dies.
yeah.
So that stuff stayed the same. And then obviously she dies, super sad. And then we're at Ned's grandma's house. and then we get introduced to Andrew and Toby. I'm thinking, was there anything else added in that specific scene?
No.
I don't know. Like I probably like a dialogue here and there that was added that was pretty funny, but nothing much else was added right there. So they regroup. They go and see. I'm gonna call them by their first names. Tom. So Toby, Andrew, MJ, Ned go see Tom. They're talking. They team up and they're like, we gotta go cure them. And then when they're on the Statue of Liberty, go ahead and get into that. That okay. And then we get into an extra chunk of footage that was cut from the movie.
So yeah, the next one conversation with Toby and Andrew.
Toby and Andrew, they talk a lot more, like a lot more. They have a couple of minutes of dialogue between each other, and that just warmed my heart because seeing them on the big screen together for the first time ever, and then seeing Toby for the first time in over 10 years, and anyways, and then Andrew in a while, was so like emotionally moving for me, and then emotionally moving for him because Andrew is his Spider Man.
Yes, yeah. In fact, this is the first time when I see Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me though, like I haven't seen, I didn't get a chance to see the first one. I saw it whenever it was on Letterboxd.
Yeah, because you were younger, and
Yeah.
I didn't go see the first one
Yeah.
either, so I don't know. We just didn't go,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Advertising 2, which is on FX.
So yeah, there's extra dialogue cut between Toby and Andrew, and then whenever Tom jumps in, they're talking about villains that they fought. Extra dialogue. Toby talked a lot. Toby said a lot more that was cut from this movie, and you could tell Toby was riffing at some parts. He was improvising some lines. Obviously it could have been written. I don't know. I don't have the script obviously, but he was riffing. You can kind of tell just the way he was talking. He was riffing, and if I would be honest with you, I can get hours. I can get 5, 6, 7 hours of just them three talking, of just Toby and Andrew talking about being Spider Man. That is the highlight of this extended cut for me. Was them talking about them being Spider Man. I love that so much. That was incredible. What about you?
Yeah, for me though, so yeah, again, first time seeing Toby and Andrew in the theater, and the extended scene, like the talking, that is really good. And man, some like dialogues that will be cut out.
Yeah, so they just basically skimmed some dialogue between them that was the original cut.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we get the big crescendo fight scene between the three Spider-Men and all the villains. I'm trying to see what else was cut. Anything else that you noticed? Anything else that you noticed that was cut or no?
No.
Yeah, me neither. It was the same final battle. Maybe a little bit of dialogue here and there. I need to watch it again. I've only seen it once in the extended cut.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm trying to think. And then, yeah, guess that's pretty much it. Just the movie ends the same. He does the spell. Anything else? Well, before we get to the post credit scene.
Oh yeah. Happy Hogan and Matt Mott.
Oh my gosh! Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
You go ahead and get into it since you brought it up. I had forgot.
So yeah, before they walked into the apartment, we got the sequence where Matt Mott and Happy Hogan are doing in a case. For some reason.
Because Happy has Stark technology.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Stark technology.
Yeah.
And after whenever the mother was talking, and he saw the security footage
of them going into his apartment. Yeah. So there was a whole few minutes cut completely from the movie of Matt representing Happy in front of the DLC. And that was pretty funny. Honestly, they didn't do much with it. If I'm being honest with you, they showed some of the footage of Matt, with Happy talking, and then they didn't go back to it. They didn't, and then that's pretty much it. That was cut off from the movie. Thank you for reminding me, Rafi. Okay, so going back to the ending of the movie, everything stays the same, and then sadly, everyone forgets who Peter is. He goes and visits MJ. The same stuff. There really was I didn't notice anything. And credits roll. We get the same mid-credit scene. Nothing was added for Venom, right?
Yeah, nothing.
There was nothing added for Venom. It was the same stuff, but we got a new post-credit scene. So go ahead and get into that one,
Yeah,
Rafi.
yeah. On this school credits with Batman, recap
Betty Brant. Yeah.
Batman,
Mhm.
you know, uh, recapping the school years.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the post-credit scene was Betty Brant doing a send-off video for the school year, what Rafi had mentioned. But the purpose of it was for you, the viewer, to be like, "Oh my God, Tom Holland's trilogy, the journey that we've been through, so all the way through Homecoming." We saw Liz. Well, we didn't see the actress talk, but we saw photos of Liz.
Yeah,
First time we seen her since Homecoming. So we see just photos of them throughout Homecoming, and then on their trip in Europe for Far From Home, and then what's going on right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. She just has the send off. It's the end of the school year. Betty Brant's talking to us. Hurrah! It's summertime. Post credit ends, and that's it. That's the extended cut. Overall thoughts, Rafi?
I mean, like the Syndicate though. I find this one like a bit better though. Get just some like context that was being cut out.
Mm-hmm.
Like like so yeah. I mean, for like the extended cut, I might get this one like a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Basically, like a tie with the original and the extended cut.
Okay. For me, the stuff that made me laugh the most was Betty Brant's interviews that they cut. I get why they cut it, but I wish they would have left it because it was really hilarious with the dialogue between them. And then my absolute favorite thing, which I just raved about a few minutes ago, was Toby, Andrew, and Tom talking. And yeah, it was. If you haven't seen it, and if you're thinking about should I go watch it again, yes, go watch it again. The extra footage I think will be worth it for you. The story doesn't change; it's the same story from
Yeah,
beginning to end. The story does not alter at all. There's extra pockets of footage that was cut out throughout the movie that was added back in, finished VFX and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Is there anything else you want to add, Rafi, or that's it?
that's it.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you've seen it and some of your favorite stuff that was cut from the movie that was in the extended cut. As always, you can follow us here. I'm Chris.
And Ralph.
We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.